A very good morning to all of you. I hope all of you are well. Please stay safe, stay at home as much as possible. Let me introduce myself. Myself Rinki Bhomik, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics, JIS College of Engineering. This is the lecture 13. Hope my all the lectures helping you to understand all the topics. Today we are going to discuss about nanomaterial, though it is the continuation of this chapter, but today we are going to discuss mainly about C and T. C for carbon, N for nano, T for tube. So this is a very popular term to all of you, and I'm sure all of you have heard about carbon nanotube. Let me tell you what is carbon nanotube. This is cylindrical large molecule consists of a hexagonal arrangement of hybridized carbon atoms which may be formed by rolling up a single sheet of graphene or by rolling up multiple sheets of graphene. See, there are two classes of carbon nanotube. One is single walled, another is multi-walled. Means if there is only one wall, then it is called single walled, and if there is more than one wall, then it is called as multi-walled. In my last lecture, I already discussed about graphene. So graphene and carbon nanotube, they are very related to each other. Means if I have a graphene sheet, then I can easily form carbon nanotube because they are totally related to each other. If we roll the graphene sheet, then we can get the carbon nanotube, and that's why it's written here a single sheet of graphene. If we roll up, then we can get the carbon nanotube, and basically here the shape is cylindrical. Okay, here the shape is cylindrical. So this is a definition of the carbon nanotube. Now we are going to discuss elaborately about carbon nanotube. So this is the figure. This is how it actually looks. It looks very interesting, isn't it? So here, as we can see, this is nothing but a tube, but if you go to the internal structure, then it's just similar to the graphene. Let me show you how. This is another figure of graphene. This is the inner structure or inner side of the carbon nanotube. Here, this is the graphene sheet. What we can see here, that there are some benzene rings which periodically arranged. So if we roll it up, then we are getting the carbon nanotube. So this is the benzene ring which are periodically arranged, and here also the benzene rings. Basically, if we roll up, then obviously the internal structure is not going to change, but obviously the outer shape will be changed. So that's why I told that they are related to each other. Means graphene and carbon nanotube, these two nanomaterials totally related to each other. So in carbon nanotube also, those benzene rings are actually arranged periodically, and this is the tube. This is the cylindrical tube. Okay. Now along this axis we can see it's available for us. We can move it along this axis, but along, suppose this is x-axis, so x-axis is available for us, but y and z are restricted to go. Okay, so since one axis is available to go and two axes are restricted, that's why it is called as your one-dimensional nanomaterial. But for graphene, along, suppose this is your x, this is your y, So we can move along x and y, but only one axis, means z axis. Along the thickness we cannot move. So that's why along this axis only one axis is restricted to go, but two axes are available for us. So that's why it is called two-dimensional nanomaterial, and this is called one-dimensional nanomaterial. This is sheet, this is a cylindrical tube. This is the basic difference between carbon nanotube and the graphene. Now, due to the change of the shape of these two nanomaterial, here the properties also has been changed. Okay, so now also we'll discuss about some properties of the carbon nanotubes, how actually it changes. Now this is about the internal structure. First we have to be clear about the internal structure, about the outer shape, about how actually it forms. Okay, about carbon nanotube we need to be clear first. So this is about graphene, and then we can get the carbon nanotube from it. Now let me tell you about the properties of carbon nanotube. What are the properties of carbon nanotube? First is strength. Carbon nanotubes are the strongest and stiffest materials yet discovered in terms of tensile strength and elastic modules respectively. In 2000, a multi-walled carbon nanotube was tested to have a tensile strength of 63 gigapascal. CNTs are not nearly as strong under compression. Because of their hollow structure and high aspect ratio, they tend to undergo buckling when placed under compressive, torsional or bending stress. So here we are getting huge strength from carbon nanotube when it actually undergo the high compression. Okay, so that's why carbon nanotube we prefer most, because this is strongest and stiffest material and we can get huge strength from it. So that's why it can be used in any device, to produce any device, so that we can get high effectiveness from those nano device. Okay, so that this is one cause. Next is hardness. Diamond is considered to be the hardest material, and it is well known that graphite transformed into diamond under conditions of high temperature and pressure. One study succeeded in the synthesis of a super hard material by compressing single wall nanotube to above 24 gigapascal at room temperature. The hardness of this material was measured as 62 to 152 gigapascal. The hardness of reference diamond and boron nitride sample was 150 and 62 gigapascal respectively. The bulk modulus of compressed single wall nanotubes was 462 to 546 gigapascal, surpassing the value of 420 gigapascal for diamond. So by this we can easily say that it is harder than even diamond. So the value for the hardness of this material 62 to 152 gigapascal, and the hardness of diamond and boron nitride is 150 and 62, but the bulk modulus compressed single wall nanotube was 462 to 546 gigapascal. So it's a high value, so that's why we prefer the carbon nanotube, because of its hardness property, also high hardness property. Next is thermal property. All nanotubes are expected to be very good thermal conductors along the tube, exhibiting a property known as ballistic conduction. But good conductors laterally to the tube axis Measurements show that a single wall nanotube has a room temperature thermal conductivity along its axis of about 3500 watt per meter per Kelvin. Compare this to copper, a metal well known for its good thermal conductivity, which transmits 385 watt per meter per Kelvin. A single wall nanotube has a room temperature thermal conductivity across its axis of about 1.52 watt per meter per Kelvin. So this kind of good thermal property is available from the carbon nanotube. So that's why it is very preferable with respect to the thermal property also. So this is a new paradigm about CNT which we discussed in our by our previous slide. So here now let me show you a video on carbon nanotube which will give you a more clear idea about CNT. I hope this video will help you to understand carbon nanotube more. And before I end my session for today, let me tell you about the energy of the carbon nanotube. What is the energy of the carbon nanotube? In my last class, I actually have given you a homework for graphene. So in case of graphene, the total energy was, since it was a two-dimensional nanomaterial, that's why the formula was h cut square kx square by 2m plus h cut square ky square by 2m plus nz square pi square h cut square by 2m z square. So but for graphene, it was the expression of that energy. And what will be the energy expression for carbon nanotube? It will be h cut square k x square by 2m. If we consider that the x-axis is available to go and y and z axis are restricted, then it will be h cut square k x square by 2m plus ny square pi square n square pi square h cut square by 2m y square plus nz square pi square h cut square by 2m z square. So this is about the energy expression of the carbon nanotube. Now this is also the home task for today, that how we can write down the energy expression of carbon nanotube like this, means why the expression looks like this, what's the reason behind it. That is your homework for today. Okay, so I hope today's video will help you to understand about carbon nanotube. Now let me do the summary of carbon nanotube. Let me do the summary of today's lecture. First, we have discussed about carbon nanotube, the definition, and there we have seen that there are two classes of carbon nanotube. One is single walled carbon nanotube, one is multi walled carbon nanotube, and this is the figure about it. This is the internal structure of carbon nanotube. Here is a comparison between carbon nanotube and graphene. From graphene, if we roll it up, then we can get the carbon nanotube. Now properties of graphene, there is a discussion of about the strength. By if you go through it, then you can get the idea about the strength. And here about the hardness. Hardness is actually it is compared with the diamond, by which it is clear to us that it is very hard. So that's why we prefer the hardness of the carbon nanotube. This is about the thermal property, which is very high compared to the other metals. So that's why we prefer. Actually, if we go to the nanoscale of any material, then always will get high value of any properties, which actually increase the effectiveness of any device if we use that nanomaterial in that device. This is the working principle of CNT. CNT is pressed the nanotube. Okay, the nanotube is formed from the CNT, carbon nanotube. Now it experiences several mechanical deformation at the same time. The deformation parameter, this is a totally new information. The deformation parameter eta is nothing but dO d0 minus d by d0, where d0 is the original diameter of the nanotube and small d is the smallest diameter of the flattened cross section. Okay, this is the formula of the deformation parameter. Means if we deform a carbon nanotube, then the deformation parameter, the value of the deformation parameter eta can be defined as like this: d0 minus small d by d0, where d0 is the original parameter. So this is about the working principle of the carbon nanotube. Now CNTs in medicine. Okay, there are some question answer. Are carbon nanotubes really useful in medicine? This is a good question. So what is the answer? That proof of principle studies indicate that carbon nanotube may help treat various diseases like cancer, AIDS, malaria, metabolic disease, but only one study so far has reported a therapeutic outcome in a preclinical human tumor model. The challenges are nanotubes may not treat disease more effectively than established nanotechnology. The risk to benefit ratio offered by nanotube based therapeutics and diagnostic may weigh towards the risk. These are the challenges. What are the opportunities? That the possible contribution of nanotube in medicine are almost and wide-ranging, from advanced delivery systems, electrodes and biosensors to probes for diagnostics and treatment monitoring devices. Can carbon nanotubes help cure cancer? It is too early to determine because only early stage preclinical studies are available at present. There are no clinical studies underway. Now, what are the nanotubes as gas sensing materials? The conductivity of carbon nanotube films is sensitive to a variety of gases. Okay. Such conductivity sensitive CNT films are thus attractive coatings for SAW devices. These are new. CO2 is being a weakly reducing gas does not affect CNT film conductivity appreciably. Multi-wall nanotube MWNT, M for multi, W for wall, N for nano, T for tube. Silicon dioxide composite films changed their permittivity and conductivity upon exposure to CO2. So how carbon nanotube you can use as gas sensing material, that you can tell from these information. Next, graphene sheet. So if you roll the graphene sheet, then it is carbon nanotube. But this is very important here to say that here the periodicity is present. Also in the carbon nanotube, the periodicity is present. If this is the axis, now if you go to x and y axis, then obviously it is in nano range. But this length, along the length, it is out of nano range. Now these are the benzene ring. So the periodicity is present over here. The periodicity is present over here. So this is about the carbon nanotube. If you roll the graphene sheet, then only you can get the carbon nanotube, where the diameters are in nano range, but the length is out of nano range, and the periodicity is also present along the length. So this is about the carbon nanotube. Mechanical and physical properties here. Carbon nanotubes are the strongest and stiffest, yet discovered in terms of tensile strength and elastic modulus respectively. This strength results from the covalent sp2 bonds formed between the individual carbon atoms, which are stronger than three-dimensional diamond bonds. So this is very important. Why we are getting so much strength in case of graphene? Because of the sp2 bonds formed between the individual carbon atoms, which are stronger than the three-dimensional diamond bonds. Now, what is the value of the Young modulus? In my last class, already we discussed about the value of the Young modulus of the graphene. Now, this is the 2.8 to 3.6 terapascal. This is the value of the Young modulus for the CNT. For single wall carbon nanotube, this is 2.3.2.28 to 3.6. For multi-wall carbon nanotube, this is 1.7 to 2.4 terapascal. Now, this was obtained at 320 to 1470 gigapascal will be the Young modulus for single wall carbon nanotube, and from 270 to 950 gigapascal for multi-wall carbon nanotube using direct tensile loading test. The simply supported beam model was used by Salvatore and all others to model the deflection of individual multi-wall carbon nanotube. Now, from here, ultimately, what we came to know about the cause for which the huge strength we can get from carbon nanotube, also about the Young modulus of the carbon nanotube. These two things we came to know. Now these are the properties of carbon nanotube. The highest elastic module or mechanical strength, that is approximately 200 times stronger than steel. Novel electronic properties it has, and thermal conductivity, excellent chemical and thermal stability it has, promising electron field emission property, high chemical storage capacity. All the properties it has of the carbon nanotube. So why the strength is high, that already we have gone through it. The strength is high because of the cause is given here, because of the covalent sp2 bonds formed between the individual carbon atoms, which are stronger than three-dimensional diamond also. Okay, so with respect to this Young's modulus value, with respect to these strengths, we can tell that why this kind of properties we get, like noble electronic property, that is very important. That's why the application of carbon nanotube is so high, because of high thermal conductivity. It just conduct like a metal. Okay, and excellent chemical and thermal stability it has, promising electron field emission properties, so high chemical storage capacity. So by the whole discussion, what we came to know about the kinetic property, about the thermal property, about the hardness of it, about the strength from graphene, how we can get the carbon nanotube, that also we got to know. This is internal configuration of carbon nanotube, and see here periodicity we are getting through all over this carbon nanotube. This is outer image of carbon nanotube. This is a single walled carbon nanotube. This is multi-walled carbon nanotube. Now let me show you a video about carbon nanotube. So I hope by the discussion of carbon nanotube, the clear concept is clear. The question can be what is the is it zero dimensional, three dimensional, one dimension nanomaterial? What is the confinement? And also it can be asked that write a short note about carbon nanotube. So if you have any question, please feel free to ask. So thank you for today.